welcome to the channel. So it's been like a few weeks ago. I did a door handle for Debbie. She has a Pontiac G6, and while I was there, she told me all these things that are wrong with the car. You know, a lot of them are minor issues. One major, well, she has a coolant problem, coolant leak. So we finally got time to go do it. She's been busy, and then I've been busy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to one of these places. It's a wrecking yard where it's got wrecked cars, and you pull your own parts off of it. She needs struts for the to hold the trunk lid up, things like that. She's missing a spare tire. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to collect a bunch of stuff for her car. I'm going to do that tomorrow, and then in a couple days I'm going to go over and work on it. And so that's what this video is. Just the main issue is going to be she's got something going on with a coolant leak. She has to keep adding coolant, and she smells it burning. So I got to figure out where it's leaking. But while I'm there, I'm going to do all these little minor things. So that's this video. Well, this is my equivalent of a kid in a toy store. Look at this place. So it tells me where the G6s are on the lot, and the cars are numbered. See that? A14. So this is row A14. I got to go to A25. Okay, so here's a G6. So I'm going to get these. They seem to be working. Hers her shocks wouldn't hold her trunk up, so I'm going to take these. Okay, I found another one with a temporary spare in great shape, so I'm going to take that. The jack and the lug wrench, they're pretty universal. You know, I'll probably just scavenge around these cars until I find one that has a jack and a lug wrench in it. You know, it would have to be the lug wrench. Some lug wrenches have multiple sizes and some just have one. I'd have to get the multiple size one and make sure it works. While I'm here, her back door was giving her problems. Sometimes it wouldn't open, so I'm taking the whole assembly. I'm going to take the handle, the actuator, and the arm. I'm going to take that all with me. Okay, so I got most of what I was here for. I got the spare. This is the door actuator for the back driver's side. What was happening is when she pulled the handle, this thing would, it's supposed to pop open. Sometimes it would pop open, and sometimes it would just sort of hang right there. So I'm assuming that this is flaky, but I got this too, because this is the part that you pull the door handle, and this rod, let's see, attaches to this, and it's possible that this is weak. So I got them both. Got the springs for the trunk. What else did I get? I guess that's about it. Hi. There it is. There it is. Hey, buddy. How are you? All right. Miss me? Did you miss me?
Yes, I did.
Hi. Maxwell. Maxwell. How are you, Maxwell? Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these parts that I got for her, and the jack. Okay, and we're going to see. The trunk lid doesn't stay up. Okay, so Maxwell. I'm going to replace these. It stays up if you push it all the way, but if you come to like here, boom, comes down. So let me get my tools. Here's the other one. Now, let's see if it made a difference. Well, I can't tell if it made a difference or not. I mean...
Yeah, it did, because usually when it gets that far, it goes right down.
Like right there, it's going to come down.
Oh.
So
Well.
you do have to push it all the way up, but I think it's a little better.
It is, thank you.
Here's the spare tire. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a tire off and make sure that it fits. Now, I don't have a lug wrench, so I got to find a lug wrench. I'm going to see what size lug nuts she has. I'll probably just buy a, you know, a socket for it. It's probably either 17, 18, I'm going to say, or 19. There's a 17. There's a 19. Let's see. Should be one in the middle. That's not going to be it. There's another 17. Is that an 18? There's an 18. Okay, I got 3 of them. Nope. It's a 19. It's a 19. So I got to get a 19 millimeter wrench. This aluminum wheel is literally stuck to the hub. I got all the lug nuts out and I can't get it off. I just watched a YouTube video and this is what the guy said to do. He said to take a giant piece of wood and hit the tire there, spin it. Oh my God.
Wow.
I just learned something. You know, you're never too old to learn.
That's right.
I would have never... She happened to have exactly what he used, a log like that. And I mean, it made that so easy. That's unbelievable. So I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove every wheel on this car and put it back to make sure in case they're stuck. Okay. But that's amazing. I would have bet that wasn't gonna work. Yeah, so your spare works.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in the trunk. Okay, so that first wheel was frozen. I used that lug. Second wheel's not frozen. What I'm doing is I'm loosening these lug nuts and then lifting the tire off the ground and doing this, and I can see, you know, where it meets here, where it meets the rotor, that it's moving, so it's not frozen. They're missing a lug nut. Somebody just put a regular nut. I guess that should be okay. I don't have any, unfortunately. When I was over at that wrecking yard, if I knew she was missing one, I could have probably found one, but oh well. I got one more tire to do and then we'll be done with this and get on to the next thing. So it turns out these are all good. I just happened to hit the one tire that was, the one wheel that was frozen to the rotor. So I guess that's a good thing, because if I had tested the spare on any other wheel, I never would have known that that was frozen. And if she had gotten a flat, she wouldn't have got it off for sure. Oh, whoops. She was saying that when it rains, she gets water in the trunk. It's got to be coming from here or here. I poured water here and lifted the trunk, and there was nothing here. And now I'm doing this on the this light, the tail light, and I noticed in the corner there. Well, let's see if it'll do it for me. I saw some dripping. Not much, I'll tell you that. It's not much of a leak at all. Actually, now I don't see it. I know it didn't fix itself. Oh, that's crazy. I swear I saw dripping. There it is. Right there. Boy, it is a small leak. Okay, so the leak, I decided to pull it out. It's not that big a deal. It's leaking right here in the corner. This has a gasket on it. And since I don't have one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry it off really good. And I'm going to, when I put it back, I'm going to silicone. In, let's see, it goes like this. And it was leaking down in here. So I'm going to silicone this area here and put it back. All right, so I didn't record, I don't think, on this. You take these two nuts off, and then there's like you push this tab this way on both sides, and this piece comes out. This is the bulbs. See these things here? You pull those out, and this drops out of there. This whole thing came out. I siliconed that corner. You probably can't see it, but I put silicone right in this corner here, and I'm thinking that's going to fix the leak. I hope it does. Now on to the next thing. The next thing, now we're going to get into some serious engine stuff. She adds oil once a month. I'm thinking what I'm going to do, she said a mechanic told her that she needed a front seal. I'm going to assume they're right, and that's a big job. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her oil filter out, put a new oil filter in. She's going to lose oil, and I'm going to replace it with a product that you mix with your oil that's supposed to rejuvenate any dried out seals. Takes about 500 miles, I think, before they actually start working, but it's a cheaper fix than changing out a seal. So I'm going to do that now. So she can't remember the last time she had to add oil. It's full, and you know, if I was smart, I probably wouldn't even mess with it. But I got to get under there anyway, because I got to find the coolant problem. So while I'm under there, I'm going to swap out her oil filter and pour that stuff in there that seals the stops the leaks. I didn't get as much oil out as I hoped. I changed her filter. That's about a half a bottle of this. This stuff, I'm telling you, I've used it in my lifetime 3 times. It fixed a leaky power steering pump, it fixed an oil leak, and it fixed a hydraulic leak in my boat when I used to have a jack plate. It restores dried out seals. It won't fix a seal that's cracked, but if it's dried out, it restores it. So I'm putting it in here. I don't want to overfill, so I got to see how much, whatever that amount is, that's what I'm going to add.
I'd like to stay out and watch because I want to learn how to do this. My back is just kicking my...
Well, once I fix it, you won't have to do it.
I know, but I like
it won't
to
happen
learn
again. Well, you've got, okay, it can be, you have a radiator here, you have a hose that comes in and a hose that comes out. It could be one of those hoses. I don't think it is. It would be, you know, there'd be something under here, but it's possible because you have this plate under there. It could be running down the plate.
Yeah, because I see it dripping from the plate. When I bend down over here and I look under,
that's where I see it.
Yeah.
I see it right back here, and your water pump's right there. The water pump has a seal, just like your oil seal. If the seal goes bad, you know, your fluid will come out of the seal of the water pump, which is right down there. Usually, okay, there's a, see this belt?
Yeah.
This belt goes around all these pulleys. There's an idler, there's a tensioner, and I think it's right down there. I gotta if I loosen the tensioner, I can take the belt off. If I take this off, I can reach down there with my hand and I can grab the water pump pulley and do this. If it's rocking, you got a bad water pump. Oh. You know, if it's in there solid, but then I can put my light on it, and you know, if it's been leaking, I should see something around it. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna just take some stuff off. All right. I gotta get my. Okay, so I got under the car and while it was running, she's definitely got a leak. I just can't see exactly where it's coming from. So what I'm gonna do is I'm taking this off. I need to be able to get in there where the water pump is and feel, you know, if it's wet down there, if it's coming out of the water pump. It's kind of, that's where I'm seeing it, right in the back there. So I'm thinking it's in that area. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take all this off. Okay, I didn't have my camera on. So there's a belt tensioner down here. I took this off, loosened the belt tensioner, took the belt off. The water pump is right over here. I grabbed a hold of the pulley and I wiggled it. And there's very little play, but there's play. And there should be no play. The antifreeze, when I had this off and I shined the light in there, there's a bunch of it over here. It's actually near the hose, but I don't think it's the hose. I think what's happening is the water pump is leaking and it's throwing the antifreeze everywhere. It's throwing it there, you know, below it, over here. So I am going to get her another water pump. Okay, so I just want to catch up here. I'm going to replace the water pump. That's priority number one. But I'm also, you got, let's see, the bulb in here is burned out, and one of the bulbs in this brake light on the back is burned out. So when I go to O'Reilly's to get the water pump, I'll get the bulbs, replace that. This door opens sometimes and doesn't other times. I'm going to replace the actuator in there. I picked one up when I was at the wrecking yard. So first of all, we're going to get this water pump out. I got to take this off. There's a shock. Well, let me take this off. Okay, so I took this off, took these 3 bolts out, and this is gonna, oh, this is connected to it, so I gotta get that out of there. I think it just pops out. Yeah. Okay, get that out of there. And okay, I'm gonna take this off, the shock, because the water pump's right there. There's 2 bolts right in here. Let's see. Right there's one, and there's one. I'm gonna take those 2 bolts out, and I'm gonna move this up out of the way. Okay, so I got the shock out of the way. There's the water pump. There's the pulley. What I did was I grabbed it. It's hot, the engine's hot because she was using it this morning. Let me get some gloves. Okay, when I was here last time, what I did is here's the belt tensioner. I loosened the belt tensioner and I took the belt off and I grabbed this pulley and I wiggled it. It wasn't bad, but it had a little bit, I could feel a little bit of play in there. And I noticed the antifreeze is over here, down there, and over there, and I'm thinking it's leaking back here and it's throwing it all over. But here's what I'm gonna do. There's 4 bolts holding this pulley. I'm gonna loosen the bolts before I take the belt off, because that whole belt holds it in place so I can loosen them. If you take the belt off first, the pulley's gonna wanna spin. I'm going to take the belt. I'm probably not gonna take the belt completely off. I mean, it's one of these, it winds everywhere. If I can just take the belt off of here and leave it everywhere else, I'm gonna do that. But I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna pull that pulley off. So, like I said, I don't wanna take this belt completely off, but in case it falls off, I'm gonna draw the diagram with all the pulleys. and the way the belt goes around, just in case. Now I should probably take my phone out and take a picture, but for some reason I just don't do that, and I don't know why, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it my way. Okay, there's a 3/8 hole right there. Let me make sure I'm, nope, wrong way. So you get a, I mean, I got a small one, but it'll work. And you pull, when you pull that, you loosen this pulley and it loosens the belt. Okay, so this is a good sign. Here's the pulley. See the coolant behind here? That pretty much tells me that that water pump has to be leaking, because let's say the leak was a hose over here. It shouldn't be able to get back behind here. Okay, here's the pump. And like I say, I can, when I wiggle it, it ain't much, but it's got a little bit of play. And I don't think it should have any. So there it is. There's, I believe there's 5 bolts. I've got to, here's what I got to do. I got to put something underneath, because when that water pump comes off, all the coolant in the upper half of this engine is going to drain. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a Sharpie, and let's see. I'm going to try to get in there, and I want to put marks on there with a Sharpie, so that when I get the new one, I'm not trying to figure out, you know, which way it goes in. I just match it up and put it in straight the first time. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so the Sharpie idea didn't work. I ended up scribing a mark. Hopefully it's deep enough. I scribed a mark on there next to that bolt. And when I pull it out, I'm going to make for sure that mark's there. If it's not, I'm going to make it when I get it out. Anyway, got all 5 bolts out. Now I just got to knock it loose. It's right there. And there goes the coolant, and hopefully, oh, I was afraid of that. You got to make sure that no pets are out here, because coolant has, well, they may have changed since I was younger, but when I was younger, it had a sweet taste to it, and animals would drink it and die. So I'm thinking that all the advancements we've made, they probably don't, it probably tastes terrible now. I'm hoping, but I'm catching most of it, but I'm going to clean this up, you know, before it goes down the street and kills somebody's pet. Okay, so I'm hoping they have these bulbs. I don't think you just pop them out. I think it's an assembly, and if they don't have them, they're special. I got to go get them probably, I don't know, at a dealer. I noticed this one's burned, and this one's burned. Not sure what that means, but anyway, I'm gonna go get one of those. To take this off, I figured I'd show you. There's a knob right here. You loosen this knob. Actually, you take this knob off, and whoa, Maxwell, what are you doing, buddy? You scared me. You scared me, Maxwell. Maxwell likes me. All dogs like me. Okay, so take this off, and then you pull this carpet back, and it exposes two nuts. They're 10 millimeters. Okay, take those off. There's one. There's 2. And this thing comes out, and it's let's see, it was this bulb right here. Okay, we tested the lights. So she's got here's what I did. I bought these 2. They didn't have these. These bulbs don't snap out of here. They're like soldered in or something. He said I probably have to get them at the dealer. I'm not going to do that. I got one working. I'm going to put it in the middle, so at least, you know, it lights up in the middle. These all work now, so she has brake lights, she has running lights, you know, she has all of that. So this part's done. Now I'm going to go put the water pump in. Okay, there's the new one. Okay, so here's the old one. There's the mark that I scribed. Actually, all you got to do is look. You see the pattern in here? You match it to the pattern in there. So you really can't mess it up. But anyway, so that bolt right there goes right there. Here's the new one. I think it's starting to rain on me. Right, so you match up the holes, and it's gonna go in just like that. I just gotta put the gasket on. Okay, now what I do anytime I change something that has a gasket, I use this stuff. It's actually for making your own gasket, but I don't make my own gasket. What I do is I put it around the holes, around each hole, to hold this in place, so when I put it in, this doesn't slide off. Okay, so let me show you. I put the there's the new pump. You don't torque those bolts very much. It says 20 pounds max, 20 foot-pounds. I can't get my torque wrench. My torque wrench is too big, so I got to go by feel. I got a pretty good feel for that, you know, because I've tightened a lot of bolts, but it ain't much. You know, you're 20 pounds, you're just pretty much snugging them down. Now I'm going to put the pulley on. When I put the pulley on, I'm going to hand tighten the 4 bolts, and then I'm going to put the belt back on, which is going to hold this in place, and then I'm going to tighten the 4 bolts down. 4 bolts on here is the same as on there, 20 foot-pounds. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, I'm going to fill the reservoir up. I'm going to fill it to where it says fill cold, and she's going to come out. I'm going to have her start the car. I'm going to leave all this off, and I'm going to watch in here for problems, and we're going to go from there. I'm assuming that's going to drain, and then I'm going to have to keep filling it up. I'm probably going to have her do that. I'm going to stand here and watch while she fills it up, because I want to see if I see any signs of leakage. Okay, we've been running it for a while and filling that up, and I don't see any signs of leaks, but you know, that doesn't mean it's not, but I don't see it. I don't see it leaking. So I'm just going to we're going to watch it. I'm probably going to put all this back together, though. I don't think it's leaking. Okay, so this thing's intermittently failing. It's not the this one was the mechanism when you pulled this out that lifted. It's not that, because see, that snaps back in. I'm pretty sure it's this part, this actuator, and I bought one. I got one at the wrecking yard, so I'm going to replace it, and hopefully that fixes it. Okay, so this is what I got at the wrecking yard. It looks like that's the same thing. Okay, it's all back together. Now we're going to find out if it works. Well, so far. Now I got to see if I can make sure the inside one works. It should be right about there. Okay. Yep, they work. We're done. Let me recap this car for you. Let's see. Trunk. I got a spare tire, a jack. She got the lug wrench. This brake light bulb was burned out. And the turn signal didn't work either. I don't know if it was on the same bulb or not, but I just replaced them both. There's 3 here. There's only 1 working. they didn't have the other two, and I'm just not going to chase a bulb. So that's done. What else did we do? We put a water pump in, tested it. I mean, you know, she's going to have to drive. It didn't leak right away, which is a good sign. I poured, let's see, she had an oil leak, slow leak. She wasn't adding oil very often. I poured a can of that AT205 stuff in there, and we'll see if that helps. And I believe that's it. We're done. So that's the end of this one. Now this is going to be my next project, or one of my next projects. This is a 1987 Camaro IROC Z28 that's been sitting right here for 15 years. I will come back and make another video about this one. We'll pull the tarp off. Thing about this one, it'll be if I can get it working, it'll be multiple videos, because you know, I got to go through it a little at a time. It's going to take a long time, but I'll know pretty quick if it's even worth working on. But that's for another day, because I got to go home. Okay, thanks for watching. She gave me 20 bucks, which I got to do this lady's kitchen in a couple of days, put countertop, dishwasher, sink, so I'll apply it to that. Okay, this one's done. Thanks for watching. See ya.